Hello friends, this is Odds, archaeologists will prove it someday, and today I am going to weigh in on the whole debate that has been hot lately in the community on whether or not she has meaningful counterplay from the survivors, or if they're just forced to have complete guesses and there's no real skill involved. As it is tradition in the DBD community, this debate has degenerated into name-calling, ridiculing, trivialism, all the good stuff. I'm not here to fan the flames further. I just want to give my 2 cents from a different perspective that I think no one has really addressed too much, that I think might be informative. So, where do I lean on this debate? I lean more towards the side of the spirit has very little meaningful counterplay. And I think the main reason why is because of the nature of her add-ons. Let me demonstrate with a little game that you and I are going to play. Right now, you are this survivor right here. And I am this spirit right behind this window. I am about to vault the window, then immediately begin to use my power. Then I'm going to quickly face right on top of you and do a quick attack. Your job as a survivor is to watch and try to predict when this is going to happen, and then press the letter E on your keyboard and use your dead hard, which is about half a second, and try to dodge the attack. All right, are you ready? We're gonna try to do it, okay? Pay attention, be ready to press it, and tell me if you time it well. Let's do it.
¡Ay! Iba a activarlo ya. Ah, no, no lo pillo esta vez.
Okay, let's do it again.
Ay, vale, mierda. Dios, está moviéndome ya.
Very good. Now, one last time.
Estoy preparada. Nice. Okay.
And congratulations. If you got hit several times, don't feel too bad. If you dodge all of them, I'm afraid it's not really amazing skill on your part. You were just extremely lucky because all of these timings were different. I did this little test with my friend Leonek and another friend of his, who both of whom are very good survivors and have a very, very good grasp on the game. And they had a pretty hard time getting it down. This is very controlled environment, mind you. Like, they know exactly what I'm doing. And it's very short distance, but they're trying to time it well. And it's very difficult because I have been using add-ons that modify this number quite significantly. On the more extreme sides, we have a difference of more than 1 second. So I think this is the main problem. Now, survivors that are ultra competitive, that play in tournaments, this is not a huge deal for them. And this is why. In tournaments, they have rules. They know that the spirit that they're playing against is only capable of using yellow add-ons, if the rules say only yellow add-ons. So they know what to expect. They can try to really get it down and play tight around that knowledge. And if they have to play it safe and just pre-drop pallets, they can afford to do that because their team is very focused, probably sitting on generators as much as possible, and it will work out even if you waste a lot of resources. Unfortunately, in the non-competitive setting, this is not the case. The spirit that you're playing against has no rules. They could be using no add-ons, they could be using some add-ons, they could be using the best add-ons, and the differences in time are quite astounding. The spirit does not really create footstep noises anymore. I think that was magically patched out last year. So you have no real way of knowing where she is. You have no real way of knowing which add-on she's running and how much time you have to react. And unfortunately, throughout the course of a game, you can only try to guess and only try to hope that you have enough room to guess correctly. I think this is a problem. For a killer that's already very, very powerful, adding that layer of unpredictability and crazy power shifts, depending on the add-ons, makes it very frustrating. And I think this is where the people that say that the spirit has no real counterplay are right. You really cannot guess this. You just cannot. You can only try to guess and hope that you are somewhat right. If you try to be very precise, I'm afraid that even the best survivor cannot really see the future and know which add-ons are in play just from guessing. even throughout the course of a long match. Now, let me try to break down the add-ons and explain why they are a little bit problematic and why maybe they should be what the developers focus on. Now, the Spirit has a bunch of different add-ons. She has an add-on to help track the blood of survivors. It's decent. She has an add-on to launch from further, letting her, get away from attacking from a little bit further after phasing. They're decent. She has the add-ons that make her passive phasing disappearances happen more frequently. Okay. But then we get to the more popular and more problematic add-ons. The first ones are the activation add-ons. These add-ons make her start her phase quicker. Unlike some add-ons on the average killer, these add-ons are insane. They shave off a very, very significant amount of time. Other killers, they get reductions of like 5, 10%, 15%. Here we're talking reducing like 1/3 of your charge time with just one add-on. It is really, really impactful. So if you're trying to guess how fast the Spirit will get to you, you can be off by half a second if she just happens to have one add-on in this category or something close to that. That is very difficult. Whether they're strong or very strong, I leave it up to you. But in the department of knowing how to counter the Spirit, there's no real way of guessing whether these add-ons are involved or not. And that is difficult from the survivor side. Next, we have the speed add-ons. And they are also very, very powerful. They start as decent, then they get better, and then they get better, and then we get to the mother-daughter ring, the strongest of them all. And this one is just ridiculous. It makes your speed so high that survivors truly cannot outrun you, that you can cover the whole map in just a few seconds, and that you have so much more room for mistake. Playing a Spirit that has default speed compared to mother-daughter ring, it's such a difference. And yeah, again, the survivor doesn't really see it. They can only try to guess that you appeared very far, very quickly because you have the speed add-ons, and they will never really know which one it is. So again, whether you want to think that they're OP or not, that's okay. But they're very difficult for the survivors to really play around and predict. Then we get to the recovery add-ons, which are also a bit of an issue. And they make it difficult for the survivors to know also what's going on. Now, typically, the Spirit will recover for 3 seconds for each 1 second that she uses her power. So if you use your power for 1 second, then you recover your power in 3. If you use it for 2 seconds, then you recover it in 6. If you use it, and so on and so forth. Up until you use your power for 5 seconds, which is the maximum, and then you recover it in 15. So if a Spirit uses her power for 4 seconds, it's difficult, but let's say that you know that she used her power for 4 seconds. It's completely possible that she just stood still for 3 seconds and then used her power for 1 second. So it's really hard to know how long a Spirit has been using their power. But let's assume that you have an incredibly big brain and you deduce that the Spirit has used her powers for a total of 4 seconds because you already know her activation time and you know that she wasn't faking it. But let's assume that you know that she's been using it for 4 seconds. Then you know for a fact that for the next 12 seconds, she cannot use her power, and you can just loop her like a normal killer. The problem is that recovery add-ons change this. With several recovery add-ons, her recovery goes down, and now she doesn't need to wait as long. So if she stands still very shortly after using her power, you don't know if she's faking it, or if she already has her power and she's already using it. So again, you can say it's OP, you can say it's strong, you can say it's not OP at all. But from the survivor point of view, zero information, complete guessing game. And then we get to the duration add-ons. The duration add-ons allow the Spirit to use her power for more than 5 seconds. So, it gets little and then bigger and bigger up until the purple one. And this is not such a big deal. The Spirits typically use their powers in short bursts, so having more duration is not that great. But it is, because there is a little error in their coding, a little unintended side effect to the duration add-ons that make her have extra recovery. So let me just put it in simple terms. The duration add-ons also add recovery. Not just that, the duration add-ons add more recovery than the recovery add-ons. And this is a problem, because you can have a Spirit that can use her power for a very long time, making it even harder to know exactly where she is and where she's going to land, and then recover faster than usual with just one add-on. this is a problem that the developers have been made aware of that hopefully will address in the future. But again, we are in this issue where all of these add-ons can be combined in the craziest, wackiest way. And you as a survivor in a real life, real match, non-competitive setting have no idea which ones are there. So whether you need to drop the pallet now or wait a little bit or dead hard now or save or not save, it all really comes down to whether or not you get lucky in guessing what add-on she's running. If you are extremely perceptive, you can try to guess some of these add-ons. But even then, you will never really know for sure. If she appears really quickly, she could have double activation. She could have double speed. If she gets her power back really quickly, it might be that she faked and she didn't use her power too long. Or it might be that she has double recovery. This part of the spirit, I think, is what grinds the gears of many survivors. And perhaps one that you might have not realized is really difficult to really try to play against. So, change these add-ons. Make the spirit have a fixed speed, make the spirit have a fixed recovery, make the spirit have a fixed launch, whatever it is that you need to do. Change whatever, and maybe we'll have a situation where you'll know what you can expect from a spirit rather than throwing a dice and hoping for the best. Hopefully we'll see some changes. In the meantime, if you feel a particular way or another, I invite you to consider the other side and to not be an asshat about it, which I know is a lot to ask from some people. But that was my 2 cents on the issue. Thanks so much for watching.